Hello, and welcome to Get In We're Going Healing, a place where we talk about mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual well-being to help you learn to let go of the things that are holding you back from being your best, your greatest, your most authentic self. My name is Tova, and I will be your guide. So today what we're going to do is we're going to be looking into the first 6 months of 2024. Now, usually my readings are timeless, so whenever you find them, there's a message there for you. And technically this one will be as well, but we're going to be looking into the first 6 months of the year 2024, okay? So we're going to pull 3 cards for each month. We're going to pull a card to represent the general overtone of the month, one of the blessings that you're going to be getting in the month, and then the challenges that you might be seeing in that month, okay? Depending on what other information comes up, we may dig into that a little more and ask some further questions to clarify if we need to, okay? So just a reminder, if you're looking, this is a collective reading, so this is for the general collective. If you're looking for something to get more personal into your individual circumstances, particularly as we're talking about 2024, if you're looking for a greater detail into what 2024 will be specifically for you, you can send me a message in email, that's in the description box below, and we can set up a personal reading that I can go into your individual forecast for 2024, okay? If that's of something of interest of you, you can find that in the description box. Don't forget, if you're on this journey and you are working on healing, you can follow my podcast for more help on this healing journey. I have already been walking this healing journey for 3 years now. A lot of the things that come up in the journey I have been through, and I share a lot of my knowledge and my experience that I've had going through this journey with you guys. So if this is something that you are doing and you need a little more guidance and help, check out my podcast. You can find it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, anywhere you get your podcasts. It is called Get In, We're Going Healing, okay? You can also follow me on social media, on Instagram and on Facebook, where I share a lot of inspiring content. I do go live and do live readings from time to time on those platforms. So if that's something of interest to you, check it out. And if you are enjoying my content, please subscribe to the channel. Please consider subscribing. When I do get 1,000 subscribers, I will be able to do lives on Facebook, on YouTube as well. So I need to have 1,000 subscribers in order to do that. So if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing so that we can get to being able to do live readings where you can ask questions and I can pull cards directly for you. Okay. All right. So we're going to look into 3 piles for our reading today. 3 piles, please. Oh, there was a card. All right. There's 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So for pile number 1, we have card number 22 with Have Faith. Okay, I'll let you have a good look at it here. For pile number 2, we have Pride. Card number 7. And for pile number 3, we have How Teachable Are You? With card number 9. Okay. All right. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you are a returning member, welcome back. If you're new to pick a cards, then how it works is you might have seen a number on these cards. That might be a number that resonates with you, your lucky number, or a number you've been seeing in synchronicity lately, a lot of repeating of that number. That might be the pile for you. If there's the words might have connected with you, the image might have connected with you, something in there, that's likely a call to you that's the right pile for you. If none of those things for sure connected with you, you can also check the timestamps in the description box for each pile. There might be a number, again, a synchronicity that connects with you that might be the indicator of which pile you should choose, okay? Once you've decided on which pile you want, go to this description box, find the timestamp, and jump right over to that reading. So when you are ready, I will meet you there. Okay, so if you chose pile number 1 with Have Faith, this is your card, okay? So already, before we even pull into the first 6 months, it's already telling me that in the first 6 months of 2024, you're being asked to have faith. To trust in source, trust in the universe, trust in divine, okay? And trust in yourself. Because you might not see the things that you think you're going to see in the first 6 months, okay? You might find yourself going through some challenges in the first 6 months and feeling like everything could be out of whack, okay? And you're being asked to hold tight, have faith, keep the line, okay? I don't know. We're going to dig into that. You might also be finding that you're not sure where to go. You might find yourself in the dark and not sure what to do. You're being asked to have faith, okay? Let's pull some cards and see what we see for the first 6 months, okay? So as I said, we're going to pull 3 cards for each month. We're going to pull a card to represent the month, the general overtone, a card to represent the challenges, and a card to represent the blessings, okay? So we'll pull the 3 cards for each month, and then we'll dig into them, okay? All right, so let's look into January of 2024. So spirits, guides, ancestors of pile number 1 who are being asked to keep the faith. Can we get clear guided messages, please? Oh, okay. They're asking me to cut the deck instead. Shuffle again and cut. All right. All right. Okay. January. Blessings, challenges. February, blessings, challenges. March, blessings, challenges. April, blessings, challenges. May, blessings, challenges. June, blessings, challenges. All right. On the bottom of the deck, we have 8 of Cups in reverse, okay? Staying where you are. All right, so let's start with January. So the card to represent January is going to be the Knight of Swords. That's lovely. So that's telling me that things in your mental state are going to be moving forward quickly. Now, when we dig into the Knight of Swords, depending on which deck we're talking about, the Knight of Swords is, because it's a knight, he's a little more mature, okay? Mature in thinking versus the page. Pages tend to be very impulsive, particularly the Page of Swords tends to be very impulsive. The Knight of Swords tends to think things through a little bit more, right? Tends to consider things a little bit more before jumping into things. You can see, though he does move quickly, he is the fastest moving knight in the deck. He is going to be jumping on that motorcycle and flying, and flying, like the bird here, flying. He's going to be moving really quickly. He does have a bit of a fighting tendency, as you can see with a crossbow. In the Osho Zen deck, the Knight of Swords is depicted as listening to his ego a little bit, listening to the stuff that goes on in his mind, because swords are how we think about things, right? So the Knight of Swords does tend to get a little deep in his head, okay? So you might find in January, you might be deep in your thoughts. It's not necessarily a bad thing, right? So we said blessings. The blessings for January for you are going to be a renewed sense of love, a renewed sense of enjoyment and joy in your life. The Page of Cups is all about believing in love. When pigs can fly, having your cups are your emotions. We've got this rainbow here. We've got water signifying emotions. We've got hearts here. Okay, so the page, and we've got like this emotion coming off the heart and then coming off the head. This is feeling good. This is feeling happy. This is feeling excited and looking forward to things. Think about when you were young and you thought about when you were a teenager and you thought about what it would be like to be in love. That's what the Page of Cups energy embodies. Excitement, joy, looking forward to the future, looking forward to the excitement that can happen. Okay. So we've got a lot of thoughts moving in January, and we've also got excitement into what love can bring. Challenges are going to be getting out and away from being stuck in with yourself, with Four of Swords in reverse. So the Four of Swords usually talks about keeping to yourself, after the Three of Swords where you've had heartbreak, the Four of Swords is keeping to yourself and, keeping your heart safe, protecting it, rebuilding your strength, that sort of thing, right? You see this person is in a nest. They've got their heart there and they're in a nest and they're cocooning, right? So your challenge is going to be to get out of that, because we got the Four of Swords in reverse. And the Four of Swords in reverse is leaving the nest, leaving that cocooned space where you're keeping your heart to yourself and you're protecting yourself. So your challenge for January is going to be, your blessing is going to be believing in love, but your challenge is going to be coming out of that, getting out of the mindset of fear that you're going to have your heart broken, that you're going to have your heart hurt. Okay. All right. Let's see for February. The general tone of February is going to be Knight of Cups in reverse. So here's another Knight. But Knight of Cups is about, generally about giving your love, right? Mature. Giving your love, giving your connection. So in January, we're seeing believing in love. February, the tone is going to be immature love, immature emotions, right? There's going to be some emotional immaturity. Now, I don't know if that's you or someone you're going to be dealing with, but the general tone of February sounds like it's going to be emotional immaturity, okay? Keeping your feelings to yourself, keeping your communication to yourself, not sharing that with someone else, okay? Your blessings for February are going to be keeping things to yourself. Your blessing is going to be, okay, so now the Seven of Swords usually is about sneakiness, deception, and lies. But it also depicts the concept of sneaking into a camp and taking the swords of the enemy. But it also, when you're taking the swords of the enemy, it prevents them from being able to fight. It is sneakiness, but it prevents a fight from happening. If there are no weapons, the fight doesn't happen, right? So the blessing for February for you is going to be, I guess, keeping things to yourself. Maybe white lies, deception, maybe by omission. I'm not sure what that means. We might want to clarify that. Okay, your challenge is going to be Page of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so the Page of Pentacles is maturing when it's in reverse. So it's funny that you got the Knight and the Page and the Knight and the Page again, January and February. Very interesting. Moving towards, you're maturing in general. You're moving towards the Queen and the King in the higher rankings. So it's interesting that you got both the Page and the Knight in both piles. Okay. Your challenge is going to be maturing your finances. You're going to have a little bit of challenge in maturing your finances because the Page of Pentacles is immature, but it's in reverse. So that's growing, that's maturing, that's progressing, okay? Pentacles doesn't have to be finances. It can be, it doesn't have to be. It's the physical things within your realm, okay? So your challenges are going to be maturing the things around you, making them grow. Okay, so you're going to have some challenges with that. The blessing, it says that it is deception, lies, but that might actually be a blessing. It might be, the way I can see it being a blessing is if somebody has lied to you and they've done it to protect you. Okay, or that you have lied to someone else and done it for the purpose of protection. Okay, so all in all, for what I'm seeing for February is the tone of it is going to be keeping to yourself. The tone of it is going to be somebody telling you some type of deception of some kind. And it's going to be difficult for you to build finances, build wealth, build material stuff. Okay. Let's look into March. So the tone of March is going to be looking at different possibilities, seeing what possibilities are open to you, being able to dream and decide and look into what options do you have? What kind of life can you have? What do you have available to you? Okay. Your blessings for March are going to be comparing yourself to others. Okay, so the Five of Swords is about comparing your mindset. It's the mindset of comparing yourself to someone else. Now, Usually I wouldn't see that as a blessing, but because it's coming in the blessing state, I think it's coming and saying that you're going to be comparing yourself to someone else and realizing it could even be comparing yourself to a previous version of yourself. Okay. And realizing that you have come farther than you thought you have. That's the vibe I'm getting, is that the blessing for March is going to be, as you're looking at the possibilities, you're going to realize you've come farther than you thought you have. You've gone farther on your journey. You've gone farther on your healing. You've gone farther on whatever it is that you're working on than you thought you did. You're comparing yourself to who you used to be and realizing, oh, I've come quite a ways. Okay. Your challenge for March, is going to be letting go of burdens that are not yours with the 10 of Wands. The 10 of Wands is a burden. Okay, it's the energy of things being a heavy burden that you've put a lot of work into and you're doing it all on your own and it's just feeling overwhelming, right? And it's in reverse. Okay, so that's releasing the burden, feeling free. So the challenge you're going to have for March, the challenge you're going to have for March is letting go of a burden and feeling free, feeling like you are light, feeling like the burden is no longer yours. You're still going to be trying to carry that. And it's going to be the challenge you're going to have is letting that go so that you can be free, because you want to feel free. You want to feel that, but something is weighing you down. Something is heavily weighing you down. Okay. So that is going to be your challenge for March. Let's look into April. So the general tone of April is going to be 7 of Wands. Now, 7 of Wands is usually about fighting or defending yourself. But what I see here is this person meditating in their bubble. And you see these wands coming in to disrupt her peace, right? To burst her bubble. But she looks like she's got the light emanating from her solar plexus. She's confident. She knows who she is. She's in her peace. She's in her calm state. And she's not being bothered by the bubble or by the sticks, the wands. So the general overtone for you for April is going to be being in your calm and defending your energy. Okay? Keeping your energy to yourself if you need to, being confident in who you are, and not allowing the haters to get to you. Okay? Your blessings for April are going to be releasing your addictions, releasing things that you are addicted to. That's beautiful. So the devil is all about things that keep you stuck, right? Addictive patterns, addictive thought patterns, addictive behaviors, could be addictive substances, could be addicted to certain people, it could be you're addicted to drama. There's lots of things that you could be addicted to. And the devil talks about that it's something that you're capable of getting rid of. You're capable of letting it go. You choose to keep going back to it. That's the whole energy of that card. You choose to keep going back to it. So your blessings for April are going to be that you will be overcoming things that you have had an addiction to, things that you keep going back to that are keeping you stuck. You will overcome that. That's lovely. Your challenges for April are going to be bringing in new energy. Okay, you're going to have challenges with sticking with old energy because the Ace of Wands in reverse, the Ace of Wands is about the energy of something new energy coming in, starting fresh. Okay, this is in reverse. So your challenge is going to be dumping old energy, right? Getting rid of the old energy because you're still going to be sticking with some old energy that you've had to deal with already. Okay, so your challenge is going to be coming up with new thoughts and new ideas and not being bogged down by the old ways of doing things. Okay, let's look at May. Excuse me. All right, so the main energy for May is going to be 8 of Swords, trapped in your mental prison, overthinking. Okay, so in May, it looks like there's going to be some challenges for you where you're going to be believing that you are trapped. You're going to believe the mindset that you are tied up and you are trapped. But if we see here, this woman here is actually she's looking at the reflection in the mirror where she's trapped. But in the real world, she's not trapped at all. She's not bound. She's not stuck. But she's telling herself she is because that's what she sees in the mirror. Okay, so for May, you're going to be telling yourself you're stuck in a certain situation, but the 8 of Swords is the energy of you're not actually trapped. It's a prison of your own mental making. If you were able to take off the blindfold, you would see it would be so easy for you to get out. it would be so easy for you to recognize that you're not actually trapped, right? So in May, you might find yourself going through cycles where you feel like you are stuck in a certain existence or stuck with a certain energy, and you're telling yourself, this is where I'm going to be. But the Eight of Swords is always a reminder, you can get yourself out, okay? All right, so what are the blessings for May? You're going to be working through, your blessings are working through releasing an old way of thinking, okay? So Ace of Swords is normally a new way of thinking, a new way to think, okay? Ace of Swords in reverse is an old way of thinking. So your blessing in May is going to be about looking at an old way of thinking. Okay, so which is interesting when we've talked about that the general overview for the month is going to be being trapped in a mental prison. And I think the blessing is going to be going back and looking at the old way that you thought about things, seeing it a little more clearly, delving back into that, going back into that so that you can see it a little better. Okay, your challenge is going to be releasing your past. Okay, so in May, you're going to have things come up that were part of your past. That might be part of what the old way of thinking was. And you're going to be telling yourself that you're back in it again. Because again, we saw the Eight of Swords, meant being stuck in a mental prison. So your challenge for May is going to be letting go of what happened to the past and the emotions that are tied to things that happened in the past. Okay, this is part of growing. This is part of the spiritual journey. Okay, it's hard. It's hard. Okay, I get it. I've been there. I'm doing it. I know it is hard, but in order for you to progress forward, you have to be able to look at what you've done before so that you don't keep repeating the same pattern. Okay. So let's look into June. The general overview of the energy for June is going to be holding on to an old love. Okay. Ace of Cups is a new love, a new cup being offered to you. This is in reverse. Okay, so the general overview of June is going to be emptying out the cup that used to be filled. Okay, letting go of an old love. Now, it doesn't mean it's necessarily a person. It might just be an old way of thinking about love, an old way of how you used to love. Okay, what are the blessings for June? Okay. So the blessing for June is going to be waiting. Okay, waiting. Seven of Pentacles is the card about patience. You've planted your seeds. You're waiting for them to grow. Okay, this is coming to fruition because this is no longer waiting. You're waiting, you're waiting, you're waiting, you're waiting. In reverse means there's no more waiting. So in June, your blessing is that something that you've planted, some seeds that you've planted, they are ready to harvest. They have come to bear fruit. They are ready to harvest. Okay, that's a lovely blessing. What's going to be your challenge for June? Things are going to move quickly. Okay, there's going to be something with the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Knight of Pentacles generally moves slowly. In reverse, it moves quickly. So the challenge is something within your physical world is going to start moving fast. And your world is going to start moving very quickly. And that can absolutely be a challenge. Right now, if things are moving slowly, you might be saying, gee, I wish it would move fast. But when things move fast, you can feel like you are out of sorts because it's moving so darn quickly. Okay. So for you, when you're coming into June, you might find things start to speed up for you. Again, we saw the Seven of Pentacles. Things are ready to be harvested. That you were waiting on, things are ready to be harvested. So something in June is going to start moving like this. It's going to be fast, okay? So remember, as you're moving through into June, you have to go through each thing as it goes. Because remember, you're staying where you are. Eight of Cups in reverse was on the bottom of the deck. That's walking away from something that doesn't emotionally serve you, but it's in reverse, so that's sticking around. Sticking around with something that maybe either doesn't emotionally serve you or that you need to look a little closer at. But you're not leaving. You're staying. Okay? That's the staying in place card. I do want to look a little more into what this, the blessing about the deception is, this Seven of Swords. Okay, so I'm going to ask a little more. Can we get clarification on the Seven of Swords, please? Please clarify Seven of Swords. Okay. All right. So the deception that you're going to be getting, that's in the form of a blessing, is going to be a new adventure coming your way, and things are slowing down for you. Okay. So a new adventure is going to come for you. New adventure being something new and exciting. Something new and exciting that you weren't even sure of, but it's going to come slowly. Okay. Not sure what that means. You'll know what it means for you when it comes for you. Okay. All right. So that is what I have for you, pile number 1. So again, the original card we got was keep the faith, have faith. Okay. So that makes sense with what I'm seeing here. You've got a lot of things that are coming up for you that might be on the challenging side. Okay. You've got a lot of things you're letting go of, old ways of thinking. You're letting go of old burdens. It's going to be a challenge for you to release these burdens that were not yours and allow other people to help you. It's going to be a challenge for you to release your past. It's going to be a challenge for you to have new ways of thinking. But you're being asked and reminded to have faith, okay? Your guides, source, the universe, divine, they are all here for you, and they wouldn't put you on this path if it wasn't right for you, okay? So just trust in the process. Trust the process, okay? If you have trouble with trust the process, I do have a podcast episode where we go into that a little more of what trusting the process means and how to do that a little bit better, okay? So if at any point in the next 6 months you struggle with whatever this stuff is, don't forget to check out the trust the process, sit with it. Those episodes might be something that would help you in whatever we're getting here. Okay. So my pile number 1s, I hope that this reached you and gave you some insight into what 2024 is going to come for you. Again, if you're looking for an individual reading for your specific circumstances, you can email me at getinweregoinghealing@gmail.com, and we can set up a live Zoom call. We can set up a recorded reading, whatever it is you'd like, and we can dig a little more into your circumstances. If you are in the Windsor area and you want to do a personal reading, we can get together and do an in-person reading. That's totally doable. Okay. So until next time, keep letting go of the things that are holding you back from being your best, your greatest, your most authentic you. Love and light, fellow humans. Bye. All right. If you chose card number 2 with pride, then this is going to be your reading. So we're looking into the first 6 months of 2024, and the first card, your card you're coming up is pride. So now I don't know if that means you're going to be gaining pride in yourself or something, or that you're releasing pride. Because pride is one of the 7 deadly sins, but the reason it falls in the category of the 7 deadly sins is because when you are too prideful, right? When you have too much pride, it can be a tipping point. It could be a falling point. It could be the thing that trips you over. Because when you're too prideful, you might not accept the help that you need. You might diminish and belittle others. You might push others down because they don't have what you have. Over pride can be a problem, but so can under pride. When you don't take pride in your appearance, you don't take pride in your possessions, you don't take pride in your achievements, and you're always go, 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 that can also be a problem where you don't take time to enjoy what you have. Okay, so let's look a little more into that. Find out what else we need to hear. Okay, so for this one, let's do the Osho Zen to look into our 2024. Okay, so angels, guides, ancestors of pile number 2 with pride. We are looking into 2024 for the first 6 months. Okay. I saw the 2 of Swords come out in reverse. You're going to be making a choice sometime in 2024. Okay. We're going to cut the deck. All right. January, blessing, challenge. February, blessing, challenge. March, blessing, challenge. April, blessing, challenge. May. Well, isn't that interesting? Okay? I don't believe in coincidences. Blessing, challenge, June, blessing, challenge. Okay? So the thunderbolt, which is the tower, in reverse was in the deck. Okay? And that tells me that whatever towers have fallen, whatever tower moments happened for you, has already come and gone. Okay? The towers have fallen. Now it's time to rebuild. Now it's time to look a little closer at what fell and what can be reused, what can be repurposed, what can be rebuilt, and start the rebuilding process, which is lovely. It is challenging, but it is lovely. Okay? So let's look into January. What is the general energy of January for you, pile number 2? Ooh, the Magician with existence. The general overtone for January is that you can create the life that you want. You have everything available to you to create the existence that you want to live. Lovely. What are the blessings for January? Ooh, a 10 of Cups. Your blessings for January are going to be healing. They're going to be having all your cups filled, having all your emotions filled, having your heart and your mind all on the same page where you feel utterly fulfilled with everything. Beautiful. What are your challenges for January? Staying in a pattern that you're already in, staying in the life you're already in, okay? The Fool is about new starts, but this is in reverse. So not having your new start. The challenge you're going to have for January, even though you recognize you can create the life that you want and you're getting everything that you're getting your heart's fulfillment, the challenge is going to be that you're not going to be starting your new life yet. And that's going to be challenging. It's going to be hard because if you think you should be ready to step into the new life, but it's not going to happen for you just yet, not in January. Okay. So your challenge in January is going to be, that's not a hard challenge though, if I'm being honest. When the general overtone is creating the life that you want, being the Magician, that's a beautiful thing. And I don't think that not having your new start right away is going to diminish that in any way. Okay. Let's look at February. The overtone for February is completion. Beautiful. So you're going to be, this is the world. This is coming to a complete thing. And particularly in this card, what we see is the last puzzle piece is being put into place to complete the puzzle. And that last puzzle piece is the third eye with your intuition. So for you, for the general overtone for February, you're going to be completing cycles, which explains why you're not doing the new start yet, because your cycles are just going to complete. You're just coming to the end of that. The new start for you will happen, but you're coming to the end of the cycle. You're still finishing it out, okay? So in February, you're going to be finishing out a cycle. Your blessings are going to be that you're going to be releasing your sorrow. Okay, you're going to be releasing your the things that keep you up at night, fear, worry, anxiety, stress, sorrow. Okay, so your blessing for February, you'll be releasing all of those things. That's lovely. That's an amazing first couple of months, okay? Your challenge for February is going to be keeping things to yourself with the Miser. 4 of Pentacles, okay? 4 of Pentacles is keeping your pentacles to yourself. Your pentacles are things that your worldly possessions, the things that you can touch, right? Could be money, doesn't have to be. Could be just keeping things to yourself. So your challenge, when we've got the Miser, and we've got, let's even say it's money, your challenge being the Miser is going to be keeping things to yourself. You might want to share a lot of your thinking. You might want to share a lot of your money. You might want to be spending a lot of money. But the challenge is going to be, because this is coming up as this, your drive might want to be, but you're being told not to. Keep things to yourself. Okay. It might be keep your money to yourself. It might be don't spend so much, maybe save a little bit more, be a little more thrifty. But it could just be keeping things in general to yourself. So you're being asked in February, don't spend so much, okay? Keep some stuff to yourself, okay? All right. Let's look into March. The overview for March for you. Oh my gosh, you have an amazing year coming. For March, your overview for the month is going to be the Wheel of Fortune with change. It looks like for you in March, everything is going to be changing. There's your new start. Didn't happen in January. Happens in March. Okay. So this is an amazing card. You are going to be moving into change in March. Lovely. What's your blessing for March? Feeling like you're belonging. 5 of Pentacles in the reverse position. And then this card is called the outsider. And it's about being on the outside of the gate and looking in. Feeling like you're locked out of the things you want. The 5 of Pentacles is usually about a position of lack, right? About not having the things that you need. This is in reverse. And it's when we ask what the blessing is having abundance. This lack is going to go away. This not having enough is going to go away. And you're going to be included in things. You're going to have the financial abundance you're looking for and be included in things. No longer an outsider. Lovely. What is your challenge for March? It's going to be letting go of your past. 5 of Cups in reverse. Okay. So when we ask what the challenge is, 5 of Cups is in this card is clinging to the past, holding on to your past, being stuck in your past. Okay. Whatever happened to you before, emotionally stuck in your past, because that's a Cups, emotionally stuck in your past. Your challenge for March is going to be releasing the emotions of the past. Okay. You're going to be having a hard time with that. That's okay. Okay. Because again, the overview of the month is change. Interesting that you got 5 and 5. 5 of Pentacles, 5 of Cups. Very interesting. So you might be seeing 5-5 a lot. That might be something coming for you if you're following numerology. Anyway, so in general, I wouldn't be too worried. The challenge is going to be letting go of the past, but know that is part of what you're doing. And that's part of what's going to bring the change for you. Okay. All right. So let's look into April. What's the general overview of April? Trust the universe. Trust that when you jump, you will be caught. So in April, you're going to be asked to keep the faith, which is interesting. You might have been called to pile number 1 as well with the first card of keep the faith. So you are being asked in April to trust the universe, trust the process, trust where you're being led. Okay. What are your blessings for April? Integration. Oh my gosh, you have a great year coming. So in April, you're going to be integrating. This is the Temperance card. This is creating balance. This is balance in all things. This is integrating all of your parts so that you can be completely whole, which is, it's wonderful. So your blessing in April is you are going to be integrating all your stuff and finding balance in things, okay? Your challenge for April is going to be not getting complacent and continuing to work forward with the 9 of Cups upright in laziness. Okay. So normally the 9 of Cups is about having your wishes fulfilled. Okay. Having all your cups, because we got the 10 of Cups, having your wishes fulfilled. But in this card, it's called laziness. And what you see here is this guy here who's sitting and resting. Okay. Now he's deserved a rest. He's worked hard. He's gotten through all the 9 cups. He's getting things he really wants. He's really happy. He's got his drink. He's chilling out. But behind him, you see these mirrors are beginning to crack. What this card signifies with the title of laziness is remembering that the work is not done. This is not the 10. This is the 9. The job is not done. There is still more work to be done. And you can't just sit on your bum and enjoy the spoils of everything. There is still more work to be completed before you've completed the cycle. Okay. So your challenge in April is going to be that while you're doing this, you're trusting, you're integrating, you're going to feel like you've done the work. You're done. And the challenge is reminding you, you are not done yet. There is still more work to do. Don't get lazy and complacent. There is still more work to do to complete the cycle. Okay. Let's look at May. General overview for May. Celebration. Oh my gosh, pile number 2. This is like the most amazing reading. Like you have got to drop in the comments as you go through this next year, how this transpires for you, because I am so flippin' curious. In May, you're going to be celebrating. 3 of Cups. Emotional celebration. This is dancing in the rain with your people. This is, you are just excited and happy, and doesn't matter that it's raining, it's still awesome. That's amazing. So in May, you're going to be celebrating. What's your blessings in May? Closing things off. So this is receptivity, Queen of Cups in reverse. Okay. So because it's called receptivity is being open, emotionally open to what comes. Your blessing is closing stuff off, being emotionally closed. Now, to me, the vibe I'm getting off of this is closing out things where you've been giving emotions to someone who's a giver or who's a taker, and you give, and you're open. You're closing that off. This to me gives vibes of boundaries. So your blessing in May is that you're going to be creating better emotional boundaries, closing things off, not being quite so open. Excuse me. Your challenge for May is going to be maturing. Okay. So we've got the energy of the sun in reverse, and this card is called innocence. So this card is about being playful and silly, and we've got it in the reverse. So being serious, taking responsibility for a lot of things, being very serious. Okay. So your challenge in May is going to be taking things maybe a little too seriously. Okay. Yeah, that's the vibe I'm getting when the blessing is closing things off. Your challenge is going to be that if you're closing things off, you might be very serious. You might find a lot of seriousness. And because it's also the sun in reverse, which is shadow, your challenge might be to look at your shadow. You might have some shadow stuff coming up for you in May. Okay. But don't forget, the overview of it is celebration. So even if you do have challenges, even if you are taking things too seriously, don't forget the whole vibe for the month is celebration. So it still tells me, even if you have some challenges with that, it's going to be a good month. Okay. It's going to be a good month. All right. So let's look at June. Excuse me. What is the overview for June? Suppression in reverse, letting things out. 10 of Wands in reverse. So releasing a burden that you've been carrying. Okay. Suppression, being tied up in knots, being bound, and feeling like you're stuck. The burden is so heavy you feel like you're going to bow underneath it. But this is in reverse. So the general overview of June is releasing burdens. Releasing burdens that you don't need anymore. You're finally letting them go. You're finally free. You're no longer tied up in knots. You're being freed, and you're not being suppressed anymore. You're now open. Okay? Which is interesting because in May, we're closing, but in June, we're opening. So I think it's because we're closing off and we're cutting a few people off that we're able to, in June, release this heavy burden that we've been carrying for too long, that was keeping us stuck. Okay? So you're going to be coming free in June. Beautiful. What's your blessing? Lovely. Your blessing is 3 of Wands, experiencing. So being able to experience life, being able to be a part of life, being present in the energy of life, and enjoying all that comes along with that. That's lovely. Pile number 2, your reading is amazing. Okay. What are your challenges for June? Letting go of shoulds and shouldn'ts. Queen of Swords in reverse with morality. So morality is all about this should look like this shouldn't look like that. I should get this, I shouldn't get that. This person should be this, they shouldn't be that. Shoulds and shouldn'ts. So your challenges in June are going to be allowing things to happen without looking at things like it should be this and it should not be that. Letting go of the shoulds and letting things happen the way that they should. Pile number 2, your reading is spectacular. Okay, let's look a little bit more. Let's get a quick overview. I want to ask a little bit more. I mean, most of everything here is pretty understandable. The only one that I'm still struggling with for you is for May with receptivity in the reverse position. So let's get a little bit more into that. Let's clarify receptivity in reverse. Okay, can I get clarification on receptivity in reverse? What are we closing off? 5 of Swords in reverse. We're closing off competing with other people. We're letting go of the concept of having to compete with someone else. looking at them as, are they the right person? Are they doing better? Am I doing better? That competition. You're going to be releasing this idea of competition in May, which is lovely. I mean, I don't know if that has to do with a relationship, a friendship, a general vibe, but you're going to be releasing that, which is beautiful. Let's get clarification on Queen of Swords in reverse, morality. Okay. We got the Hermit in reverse and Eight of Pentacles. So working hard to come out of your shell. Okay, so the shoulds and shouldn'ts, the challenges that you're going to have in June is going to be working hard to stop being in the hermit mode. Okay, the hermit is like the wise sage on the mountaintop, doing things in their own head, being in their own space, but it's in reverse. So coming out of that. So we clarified Queen of Swords in reverse, what your challenge is going to be. And the challenge is going to be working hard at not being all by yourself all the time, not being the only person that you connect with. Maybe you used to be somebody who did connect with others a lot, and maybe you don't anymore. Maybe you spent a lot of time in your hermit mode. Okay. In June, it looks like you're going to be working to get out of that. And it's going to be a little hard for you because you've been in that for a long time, but it's time for you to stop hiding in your little cave and time to start coming out into the world again. Okay. And remember, on the bottom of the deck, we got the Towers have all fallen for you already, right? So everything bad that was meant to happen, your dark night, that's already happened. It's over. It's done. The towers have fallen. There are no more towers to fall. The towers have fallen. It's time to pick yourself up and rebuild, okay? Your original card was pride. So I feel like when I said in the beginning, I wasn't sure whether it meant that you were going to be stuck in a prideful space or if you were going to be gaining pride. I think this is you were going to be gaining pride within yourself. Your reading is spectacular. I want to know, please throw it in the comments after this transpires. Tell me, how did this actually come out for you? Okay, I think this is lovely. So pile number 2, I hope this gave you some insight into your 2024 for your first 6 months. If you're looking for something more unique to your circumstances, don't forget, send me an email. We can do a personal reading. We can dig more into your individual circumstances and find out more personal information about what is going on for you. Again, this is a collective reading, so it's not going to be covering every possible option for you. If that's what you want, send me an email, okay? If you are still on this journey, if you are walking on this journey, if you are still having trouble with letting go of competing and comparing, don't forget to check out my podcast. I share lots of information about that, how to let that stuff go, how to heal, how to forgive, how to move forward, all that stuff on your healing journey. You can find it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you get your podcasts. It is called Get In, We're Going Healing. All right. You can also follow me on social media on Instagram and Facebook. I do live readings on Instagram and Facebook. You can follow me there. I also share inspiring content to help you grow. And if you felt called to, you can, if you feel called to, you can leave a tip or donation. That information is in the description box. And please, if you are not subscribed, please consider subscribing to the channel. If I can get 1,000 followers, then I can start doing lives on YouTube and start offering live readings where you can ask questions in the comments and I will pull cards for you, okay? But in order to get there, I have to have the subscribers. So if you are not already subscribed, please consider subscribing so we can get our numbers up, okay? All right. So I hope this reading found you and gave you some information and was helpful to you. And until next time, continue letting go of the things that are holding you back from being your best, your greatest, your most authentic you. Love and light. Bye. All right, if you chose pile number 3 and how teachable are you, this is your reading. So already the vibe I'm getting for you for 2024 is you're going to be learning some lessons. With the card, how teachable are you? That tells me already there's going to be some lessons coming for you. And the question is, how good are you at learning the lessons? Or are you going to repeat some cycles that you've already done? Are you able to learn the lessons that you need to learn? And are you going to move on to the next lessons? So let's find out some more information, shall we? So I think for you, we're going to use the classic Rider-Waite deck, okay? All right, angels, guides, ancestors of our lovely pile number 3, who are finding out how teachable they are. help us get some clear guided messages so that they know what to expect in 2024. Thank you, thank you. All right, we're going to cut the deck. One more shuffle. All right, we're going to cut the deck. All right. January, blessing, challenge. February, blessing, challenge. March, blessing, challenge. April, blessing, challenge. May, blessing, challenge. June, blessing, challenge. Bottom of the deck is the Hanged Man in reverse. So the general overview of the year looks like it's also going to be, for the first half of the year, changing your perspective. Okay, changing your perspective. So let's look at January. General overview of January is going to be having a hard time making a decision with the Two of Swords. Okay, Two of Swords is this person, you can see they're blindfolded, they've got a sword, they're not sure which direction should I go? Which choice do I make? Okay, so the general overview of January for you, pile number 3, is going to be, what do I do? What do I do? Okay, what are the blessings for January? Your blessing is going to be things out of balance. Now, that doesn't seem like it would be a blessing. Okay, Two of Pentacles is having a hard time with this. The Two of Pentacles is about things being in balance, juggling two things, having it in balance, right? This is in reverse. So your blessing is going to be having a hard time balancing things. I'm not sure why that's a blessing, though. It could be that the reason that you need to, that's interesting that you got the Two of Pentacles and the Two of Swords, having a hard time making a decision, and the blessing being having a hard time balancing things. This might actually be, the blessing in this might actually be that you need to decide what to put down. And you're having a hard time balancing things because something is too heavy and it's time to put it down. Okay, let's look at your challenge for January. Your challenge is going to be King of Pentacles, which is abundance. So it looks like in January, there's going to be a position for you where there's going to be lack coming forward. Because again, this is challenge. This is not the blessing. This is the challenge, right? So the challenge for you is going to be King of Pentacles. And the challenge for you means abundance. So it looks like you might be facing some situations where you're either going to have an overabundance of something or you're going to have an underabundance of something. It's interesting because, again, it's got having a hard time making a decision, having a hard time balancing things, and there being the challenge of there being abundance, too much of something. Now, we often see abundance as a good thing, and I guess it depends on what is of abundance, right? If it's an abundance of something such as finances or food, right? Then that's a great thing. But if it's an abundance of worry, an abundance of challenges, an abundance of, weeds growing in your garden, those are not so desirable, right? So abundance isn't always a blessing. Abundance can be a challenge. So in the position for you for January of what your challenge is, it's going to be abundance. Abundance of what? I don't know. That's going to be relevant to you, but whatever it is, it's going to cause you to have a hard time making a choice. And it's going to leave you with a hard time balancing something. Okay? Let's look at February. What's the overview for February? Old energy. Okay, Ace of Wands in reverse. So the Ace of Wands is a new energetic start, something new, some new energy coming for you. But it's in reverse. So the general overview of February is going to be working with old energies, working with possibly stagnant energies. Okay, what's your blessing for February? Keeping to yourself. Okay, your blessing is going to be keeping to yourself, not going out partying, because Three of Cups is a celebration. It's partying. It's going out with your buds, right? But it's in reverse. That's keeping to yourself, but it is in the category of blessing. Okay, so the blessing for you is going to be time on your own, time to yourself. Okay, which might be a good thing if you're trying to figure out what to do in January. In February, having less distractions, having less people calling on your energy is a good thing. It gives you more opportunity to really look at it and decide, what do you really want to do? Okay, what is your challenge for February? Fighting. Seven of Wands is fighting and defending yourself. You see this person here, they've got their wand, and there's all these wands here that are trying to fight them, right? So the Seven of Wands is fighting, defending yourself against others. So your challenge in February is going to be defending yourself against other people. So already when we talk about the overview being Ace of Wands, old energy, I feel like in February you're going to be looking at who you want to be and defending who you want to be, right? Because again, we started off with how teachable are you? So already that tells me that this first 6 months of the year is going to be about lessons for you. So there may be some lessons in here for you where you need to learn to know who you are and defend yourself. You might be changing into a different person, and other people around you are like, hey, let's say with the Three of Cups, let's say you party a lot. Okay, just as an example. Maybe you go out and you party a lot and you make a decision, I don't think I want to be that person anymore. I don't think I want to be the guy that goes out or the girl that goes out and gets drunk on the weekend and parties a lot. Well, the people that used to be the people that partied with you are going to be like, what the heck is wrong with you? This is who you are. You're the party guy. You're the party person. Who are you? And you might have to find that you need to defend yourself and the choices you're making to live a better life, to make better choices for you. And that's going to put people off, especially if they're still wanting to live the lifestyle of partying. If you're choosing not to party, they're going to determine something's wrong with you because they don't want to examine why they choose to go party. They don't want to consider not behaving in that way. So they might find conflict with you because they want you to be that person and they don't want to examine why they should better themselves like you're doing. Everybody's on their own path, right? They don't have to, but they might find it hard that you're doing that. So you might have to find that you're defending yourself a bit more in February, okay? What's the overview for March? King of Wands in reverse. So the overview for March is going to be low energy. Okay, King of Wands has a lot of passion, a lot of energy, a lot of vibrancy, right? But it's in reverse. So that's going to be the opposite. That's going to be, things are mundane. Things are a little boring even. Energy is low motivation, low drive. Okay, so that makes sense as we're dealing with March, especially if you're transitioning out of a version of you that you used to be. You're going to be going through low spots as you transition before you move to the next version of yourself, okay? So that's normal, okay? Don't get too discouraged by that. That's normal, okay? What are the blessings for March? Lessons. Okay, working on your lessons. We saw the first card is how teachable are you? The Hierophant is all about teaching, being a teacher or a student. Okay, it's about higher learning, higher lessons, right? So the blessing for you is going to be working on your lessons because we've got the Hierophant in reverse. Okay, this might even be because it's learning your lessons and it's in reverse. It might be the blessing is that you are learning lessons. You can check them off your list. You've learned them. You can move on now. Not all lessons, okay, but there might be some lessons that you're done. You've learned them. You can move on. That's lovely. Releasing your lessons. Okay, so your blessing for March is releasing some of your lessons. What's your challenge? Old ways of thinking. Okay, that makes sense. If you're working through lessons and you're releasing old versions of yourself, okay, your challenge is going to be going back to old ways of thinking. Ace of Swords is a new way of thinking. In reverse, it's an old way of thinking. So your challenge for March is going to be going back to the old way of doing things. You might feel like you want to go back to being the other version of yourself that you used to be. Okay. Hold the faith. Okay. Because remember, your blessing is checking off lessons that you've done, learning your lessons, completing your lessons, right? So you're going to have that, because the vibe for March is going to be King of Wands in reverse, not having that intensity, not a lot of passion, not a lot of drive, right? Because you're going to be in a low spot, you're going to want to fall back on old patterns. But don't, because the blessing is completing those patterns, completing those lessons. So understand that everything happens in cycles. Everything happens in its own time. Don't worry about it, okay? Because again, don't forget, the overview is changing your perspective. The overview for the 6 months is learning lessons, okay? This is part of learning the lessons, all right? All right. Let's see the general overview for April. Releasing sorrows, releasing fear, releasing anxiety and stress. Lovely. 9 of Swords. So the 9 of Swords is all about sorrow, stress, things that keep you up at night, things that keep you holding your head in worry and anxiety and in stress. Okay. This is in reverse. So releasing those things, releasing anxiety, releasing fear, releasing stress, releasing old wounding, old things that mess with your head and keep you awake at night. Keep you up, possibly crying, because you see this person, head in their hands, they're crying. So in April, you're going to be letting go of the things that have been mentally plaguing you and messing with your head. Lovely. Again, those are part of your lessons, right? Those are part of how teachable are you? Those are your lessons. What are the challenges for April? What are the blessings for April? The blessing is moving out of apathy. So the 4 of Cups is not wanting to take what is offered to you, okay? So we see here, we've got these 3 cups over here that this person's not paying attention to, and Source is offering them another cup. And cups are emotions. Source is offering them another cup, and they're like, meh. They don't really care, okay? The blessing is you're coming out of that. You're going to start giving a crap. You're going to start caring, right? Because you're releasing these things that are keeping you up, you're releasing your worries, you're releasing your stresses, you're releasing all those things. You're going to start looking for the blessings. You're going to start looking for this cup being offered to you. Okay? Beautiful. What are your challenges for April? Still completing cycles. Okay? Your challenges for April are going to be you're still in the cycles. You're not done them. Okay? So the world is all about completion. And in reverse, it's going to be incomplete. So your challenge for April is that you haven't completed everything yet. You might feel like you have because you're releasing sorrows, because you're releasing these old things, but it's not done yet. You still got more stuff to go. Okay. You're not done yet. So your challenge is you're going to be thinking, oh, I've completed this lesson. Yay, I'm done. The challenge is you're not done. That's one lesson. You have a great many lessons to work on this path as you move forward. And sometimes it can feel overwhelming. I understand. I'm still working through my lessons. I've completed a lot, but I'm not done yet. That's part of the growing. The lessons don't end. They just continue, and they become different kinds of lessons. And so often they become more pleasant lessons as you let go of the old sorrows and the old fears and the old pain. But you're not done yet. So in April, the challenge is going to be remembering you haven't completed everything yet. There's still more to go. Okay. Let's see the overview for May. Oh, Queen of Cups. I love that for you. The Queen of Cups is being emotionally open, vulnerable, connected, having she's strong in her emotions. She's strong in who she is. She knows who she is. She's comfortable in her feelings. She's comfortable in all of her feelings. Okay. Emotions are feelings. I know I say that and it seems obvious, but oftentimes people don't associate that. They say the word emotion and they don't understand that is how you feel. Those are your feelings. The Queen of Cups is strong in her feelings. She's comfortable with being all the feelings. She has space for anger. She has space for sadness. She has space for frustration. She has space for joy. She has space for love. She has space for everything. She's comfortable in every feeling that she experiences. There's no shame. There's no hiding. There's no resistance. She is comfortable in every single emotion. So the overview for you for May is being comfortable in your feelings, being comfortable navigating your feelings. That's lovely. All right. What's your blessing for May? Maturing in your thinking. Oh my gosh. I love that. I love that. So the Page of Swords is impulsive. So he's young. Someone gave the kid a sword. And now think about if you watch a kid. I watched my child with a wrapping paper roll or a stick as a sword, and he goes around whack, 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 and he brandishes it at people and like, I'm going to fight you. I'm going to kick your butt, right? It's the immaturity. You give a young person a sword, a young man a sword, because we're talking in the page, give the young man a sword and he's going to go out and want to chop things, right? He's impulsive. He doesn't always think. He just like, yeah, we're going to go get it, right? And swords are how we think, right? In this deck, it's how we think. This is in reverse. So this is not being impulsive, not being quick to jump, not being impulsive in the way that you think about things, being more mature, being more level-headed, being more thinking a little bit more before you act. This is great. Okay. So the overview for May is you're being more connected with your emotions, and you're not being so quick to jump. You're not being so impulsive. Beautiful. What's your challenge for May? All right. So your challenge for May is going to be spreading your pentacles everywhere. Okay. So you might find that you want to hold on to your pentacles. You want to hold on. Pentacles can be money. Doesn't have to be. They're tangible things. You might find in May that it's hard for you to part with it. So in the Osho Zen deck, they show the Queen of Pentacles as, they call it flowering, where she throws her flower seeds everywhere. She doesn't care where they take root. She doesn't care whether they land on pavement or whether they land on grass or in soil or in where another plant is. She just throws her seeds everywhere. May they root wherever they root. May they take hold where they take hold. She's not meticulously planting a hole and then 4 inches over planting another seed and then 4 inches over and with the hopes of each individual thing and pouring all of it into those individual things. She's just throwing them everywhere. That's the Queen of Pentacles energy. It's a challenge. This is in your challenge pile. So it seems like the challenge that you're going to have in May is being able to put your seeds everywhere. You're going to want to be very meticulous in everything, but the advice is not to be. The advice is to share wherever you can share. Okay? All right. So let's look at June. What's the overview for June? Oh my gosh, pile number 3. Gosh, I love your reading. I love your reading. Okay, I love your reading. So in June, you're going to be walking away from emotional burdens that are not yours, or from mental burdens that are not yours. 6 of Swords is like somebody gave you baggage. Okay, I often see this as the generational curse card. Okay, walking away from being a generational curse breaker. Okay, ooh, I'm getting chills as I say it. So 6 of Swords is the mental burdens of other people. So the stuff they gave you and made you worry about and made you fret and fear and stress and worry, but they weren't yours. Okay. Think of it like a friend who calls you whenever they're having a lot of trouble and then they emotionally dump on you. But you're a kind and caring, empathetic person and you want to help them. So you take on their problems to help them. You take on the burdens that they are carrying, the mental burdens they are carrying, and make them yours to relieve the burdens of the person you care about, your friend, your partner, whomever, right? But then it becomes a burden for you instead of it being theirs. And it stresses you out and affects you because you're taking on their stuff from a good place. You want to help them. But now the things that they're supposed to be learning from have become your lesson instead of theirs, right? So one of the things that we have to learn when we're on our healing path is letting go of the stuff that was not ours. Because if we try to rescue everyone from their stuff, they don't learn the lessons they're supposed to learn because we're stopping it. We're in our drive not to see them suffer, not to see them struggle. We actually do them a disservice by preventing them from the thing that's going to help them grow. That struggle is what they need. Sometimes people need to hit their rock bottom before they're willing to climb themselves back out. If you throw them a rope so they can climb out of the hole that they've dug themselves into, they're just going to end up digging themselves a new hole somewhere else because someone will rescue them every time. Instead, if you allow them to struggle and claw their way out of the hole they dug for themselves, because of what they've learned to and how hard they had to work to drag themselves out, that's how they end up not digging themselves a hole again next time, because they understand what it takes to get out of the hole. And they've learned, and they might be, as they're digging themselves out of that hole, trying to drag themselves out, they might be saying the whole time, I'm never going to do this again. I'm never going to fall into this trap again. Oh boy, did I learn my lesson. I'm never going to do that again. If you throw them a rope, you prevent them from going through that. Okay. And it looks like in June, you are coming to that understanding. Either you're no longer rescuing people and letting them learn for themselves, or you're saying, you know what? It's not mine to carry. That's not my problem. It is not my problem to solve. And I am no longer going to give my energy to that because it is not mine to fix. I can't help you. Now, again, it's not that you can't provide support for people you care about, but you can't do the work for them. And it looks like in June, you are learning this lesson that you can't do the work for other people. You have to let people carry their own burdens and stop carrying it for them. Okay? Beautiful. All right. What's your blessing for June? Oh my God, I love it. Oh my God, I love it. Okay. So your blessing for June is that everything that isn't meant for you will be gone. Okay, this is the Tower. The Tower is all about whatever is built on bad foundations needs to go. Whatever is built on a bad foundation needs to go. And looks like you're coming to that understanding. Okay, lovely. The challenge for you is going to be immature energy. Okay, you're going to want to do things from an immature standpoint. And that's not great for you. That's not healthy for you. You're going to need to move past that. All right, pile number 3. So we're just going to get one quick card. I want to clarify this Knight of Wands. Clarify Knight of Wands, please. 10 of Wands in reverse and receptivity in reverse. So you're going to be releasing a burden. Your challenge is going to be letting go of something that's keeping you tied up and being closed off to the help that you could receive. Okay. So my pile number 3s, I hope that this gave you a good overview for your 2024. If you're looking for individual stuff to your individual circumstances, don't forget to email me. We can set up a Zoom call. We can set up, I can do a recording and send you the link. And if you are in the Windsor area, we can do an in-person reading and get a little more into your specific circumstances. Don't forget, your whole 2024 for the first 6 months looks like it's going to be lessons and changing your perspective, as we saw the Hanged Man in reverse. You have a great year coming. It looks like it's going to start off a little rough, but it's all going to work out. And I am so happy for you. I am so grateful that this is where you're going. If you felt that this was useful to you and you enjoyed it, don't forget to give me a like and a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel. If I can get 1,000 subscribers, I can start doing lives for you guys where you can ask individual questions, which will be awesome. And if you feel called, don't forget to leave a tip or a donation if you're interested. That's in the description box. And follow me on social media on Instagram, Facebook, and and if you're interested, follow the podcast. You can find that on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, everywhere you get your podcast. Okay, so until next time, keep letting go of the things that are holding you back from being your best, your greatest, your most authentic you. Love and light, fellow humans. Bye.